Hello everyone, I'm Lost, and today we are celebrating the fact that I officially quit my job going full-time on YouTube. I've been full-time for a little while, but I always had my middle management day job to return to. But no more! You see, I walked straight into my boss's office, I looked him straight in his stupid face, and I told him that I've really enjoyed working with him this last few years, that I have learned a lot and grown a lot, and that I hope his future is just as happy as mine. Okay, for the occasion, the mods in my Discord organized a Q&A, which is this video. If you want to join the Discord, you will find the link in the description and the comment section. Now off to the questions! What inspired Lost? Hey, that's me! To start making Soulsborne content. This is an excellent question. In fact, this question got me to doubt everything I thought I knew about what inspired me. Before we go there though, let me just take you back for a moment, because I never intended to become a YouTuber, much less one that focuses on From Software stuff. As a younger man, I wanted to study theater, much to my parents' annoyance, because that's not safe. But eventually I got a bachelor's degree and that shut them up. Afterwards, I was supposed to start a theater group with some friends of mine, but most of those got cold feet and chose to do something more safe with their time. I say safe because when COVID hit, all of the safe jobs suddenly got fired, but whatever. Not knowing what to do next, I considered doing stand-up, and I did that for a little while, but it was very evident to me very early on that I would have to travel a lot, and I didn't think I would enjoy all that time on the road alone. So instead, I started to write a comic book. I've wrote 180 pages before discovering that drawing people is hard. Fuck. Anyways, while writing, I was playing a lot of Souls games, and I had uploaded a few videos on Dark Souls 2 simply because, it was fun. And somehow, without me paying attention, I amassed around 300 subs. Now this is an important number because the hardest part of your YouTube journey is the first 100 subs. Lucky me! I skipped the hard part. Here though is the part that confuses me. I always thought that this video was the one that inspired me to make content, but when I scrolled down on YouTube, I found my own video made 2 years prior to that. I don't know what video got me to make Souls content. I vaguely remember watching some of Crazy's videos, but I don't know. That being said, I continued to make Dark Souls 3 content and streaming, and now I'm here, which is an excellent transition to the next question, which is, why did you abandon your other channel? If you don't know, this channel is not my first YouTube channel. I have several others, but my main one is called Lost My Sanity. I have 90,000 subs on there, but I don't upload on that channel anymore. That being said, I don't think of that channel as dead, I just think of it as in stasis. But why don't I upload? Honestly, I probably should have. But my reasons in truth are more emotional than practical. The last year before Elden Ring came out, I was struggling with YouTube. I had made some of my best content on that channel, yet my views were down, growth was at an all-time low, and most importantly, I wasn't making much money. That didn't feel good, especially when that channel was supposed to be my way out of a dead-end office job. I could have started with daily uploads on that channel, but no! I wanted all the content I uploaded on there to be special. And so, my motivation plummeted. Yeah, I was stupid. I probably blamed the algorithm like most other YouTubers, but truthfully, I think I simply didn't understand the habits of my audience or how to package my content properly. That is a whole nother topic, of course, but suffice to say, if you're a YouTuber, just understand that the majority of your subs are not your fans. Some are, but most should be viewed as customers, and if they don't get what they subbed for, they simply won't watch your content. It's easy to blame the algorithm here, but the best thing to do is instead to change and learn. It also doesn't help that I have the attention span of a gnat, so making longer, more involved videos is really hard for me. Now, in order to deal with that problem, I created a new channel. This one, to get some more mental separation between my daily content and the more highly edited stuff. So I posted daily on this channel for a while, and then with Elden Ring, this channel fucking exploded. Thank you, by the way, for that. So, with the growth and of course the money, my motivation returned, and now I do a whole lot of edits again. I'm not sure how I will bring back my old channel. It will happen sooner or later, but as of now, my focus is on this one. How do you think public and game developer attitudes towards difficulty in video games have been affected by the popularity of the Soulsborne series? Now, this is such an interesting topic. I think that more than anything else, it showed developers that difficulty can be used as a very marketable point. The way From Software put it front and center, like the Prepare to Die campaign, I think it's honestly amazing. I think its success gave other developers more freedom, in an age where the bigger publishers didn't know the difference between accessibility and dumbing down. It also sparked an interesting discussion around game journalists and what difficulty means for reviews. Should a reviewer be good at the game to review it? In my opinion, yes. Yes, in most cases. If you can't beat Cuphead, don't review it. I don't want games to lessen themselves just for you to play it when it gives me an amazing experience. And then there's the whole easy mode thing that keeps popping up with every From Software release. You know, ultimately, I think From Software's success means more freedom has been achieved, which is good. Very good. What is your favorite build out of all you've tried in Elden Ring so far, and do you think that there is any type of build missing that could come to fruition when we get some DLC? Alright, so generally, builds in Elden Ring and Souls games revolve around a weapon and how to get the most out of that. So saying that a build is missing is a little bit difficult to parse with reality, in my opinion. But that being said, I'd like to get some more items that have some utility, items that do stuff. Maybe a short-range teleporter, or maybe a bear trap that stuns your opponent for a little while. I think that could be cool. My favorite build is probably something fist-related. And I also really like the shield bash builds that I've been playing around with lately, but that could just be recency bias, you know? Other things I think they could do better. I think perhaps bow builds can be made better with more options. Consumable builds would be amazing. Maybe a buff to stealth to create more stealth builds. I'd also like some more faith weapons. Dex ones specifically. What is the meaning of life? Alright, you don't go easy, do you? But I'll try to give you a honest answer here. I could just be memey and say, well, you should watch my videos, but in truth, I think that the meaning of life is found in the little things. You know, a cold breeze on a hot summer's day, or eating lasagna in the kitchen while looking through the window as it rains and storms outside. In truth, I think that life is meaning. Instead of trying to find meaning, just embrace it. I hope that doesn't come out too pretentious, but I really mean that. How was your first experience with hate mail like? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't remember. That being said, I did spend a lot of time on Xbox Live. I wasn't a Call of Duty player though, I was a Halo player, and as I understand, the Halo community was far more behaved. That's not to say that there wasn't some toxic douchebags hanging around in the chat, but generally, when somebody started being assholes, I just muted them. In fact, sometimes I just pre-muted everyone, just because I didn't care what they had to say. Then later on, I probably got some hate mail sent my way, but I just discarded it. I didn't think much about it, because You're a guy on the internet sending another guy on the internet hate mail about a video game that has no real life implications whatsoever. In my mind, if you send hate mail, you have already lost, and it's quite pathetic. Besides, any hate mail I could have ever gotten would pale in comparison to some of the harsh critiques that my teachers gave me on my final exam. Still got a B though, but god, they were brutal. Do you think we'll ever get that Paleman Lore video? No, you won't. Not from me. I think the mystery is such a big part of why I appreciate that character, so I'm not gonna make one. That being said, some fans have made lore videos about my character, so you might go and check those out. Do you do invasions only, or are you into dueling as well? I mean, combat is combat, I suppose, so I do a little dueling sometimes, especially when I want to do a weapon video for YouTube. But that being said, I vastly prefer invasions because there is something about the cat and mouse gameplay. There is something about the unpredictability of it. There is something about setting up an ambush that I just find absolutely fascinating. It's something that I have never found in any other game, and which is why I'm a content creator for Elden Ring right now. Invasions is everything I want out of a video game, and only the From Software games have ever managed to give it to me. Favorite Soulsborne content creator? That one's easy. It's Limit Breaker. The old man character is so funny and cool, the topics that he chooses are always interesting, and the editing, my god, his editing is like S tier. I wish I could edit as well as that man. Lost. Do you have any advice for your fellow invaders? Not really, no. There's nothing that I can say that would make you a better invader on the spot. Practice is what's most important, but if there's one thing I will say, it's experiment. Try all of the weapons, even the weapons you think you won't like, because sometimes it might surprise you. One thing you could do is to back up your save and then reload your save every single time you run out of larval tears. That way you got an infinite amount of experimentation. That's what I do. What is your favorite weapon to use in invasions that doesn't feel too scummy to use? He's guessing the meteoric ore blade, but could be wrong. I mean, that's a good guess. I really enjoy that weapon. Right now, I don't think there's too many weapons that feel scummy. Maybe dual Naginatas, but I think most weapons feel fine at the moment. Some are a bit overpowered, some are not. My favorite weapon to use is probably going to be fist weapons. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Maybe the shield bash with a cool weapon next to it, but yeah. If you could switch lives with a fictional character at will, who would you choose? I gotta admit, this question kinda surprised me a little bit. It caught me off guard. So here's what I want to say. If I could switch at will, that means I could probably switch back. So, what I would do is I would choose a character. I don't know the name of this character, but I would choose one of the characters on one of the pleasure planets in Warhammer 40k. If you don't know, in Warhammer 40k there are planets dedicated to nothing but loving life, which probably includes a whole bunch of orgies and good food and all of that stuff. So I'll probably choose that life, and then right before I die, I would jump back into my original body, because you don't want to die in that universe and be eaten by the Chaos Gods. That sounds like a bad time, but up until you die, it sounds like a hoot. How's life lately? It's fucking amazing. I'm a content creator on YouTube. I make good money. I love my life right now. Do you still love me, Lost? Of course I do, Blood Eagle. I love you more, though, if you subscribed. On Twitch, remember that, All Twitch subscribers get 10% extra love. What build do you hate the most? Any Soulsborne game. And also, why? I don't hate a lot of builds. I don't. I generally don't hate a lot of stuff. But I suppose I'm not too fond of the shield poker builds in Elden Ring when they're using the fingerprint shield, because that thing is just broken. And I'm not a big fan of fighting Dark Souls 3 Murky Hand Scythe. If you fought that thing, you know why. Who is your favorite author? That has actually changed quite recently. For the longest time, my favorite author was Peter V. Brett. He made The Painted Man and he is the author of The Demon Cycle. But recently I've been reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson and I just love his stuff. He is such a good writer. I'm also a big fan of Jim Butcher. He writes the Dresden Files, and the Dresden Files I think is now my favorite book series of all time. So I would have to go with Jim Butcher. If that's his real name. Probably isn't. Can you make and show a tier list of all the games you've played? Christ, man. You're demanding, aren't you? I'm not gonna write down every single game that I have ever played, because that will probably number in the tens of thousands. Seriously, I played a lot of games. But I will make a list here. And originally, I wrote down 5. I couldn't do it with 5, so I wrote 10. Couldn't do it with 10, so I made like 15. And then 20. So I had to stop myself at 20, but here's my top 20 games. In no particular order, although the top 3 is in order, right? So starting with the top 1. Persona 4. Dude, I cried so many manly tears by the end of that video game. That game had me bawling my ass out. I am not ashamed of saying that. I absolutely love Persona 4. Secondly, we have Demon Souls. Demon Souls was my first Souls game. If it's your first, it's probably your favorite. I absolutely love it. And thirdly, we have Smash Bros. Melee. Now, Smash Bros. Melee was a game that I spent so much time with my friends playing, and sometimes I even bring out the GameCube and we play it. It is such a nostalgic kick to the balls. Then, in no particular order, we have Hitman 2, not the new Hitman 2, the old Hitman 2, the Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. Then comes Mario 64, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Majora's Mask, Pikmin, Mario Kart 64, Age of Empires 2, Warlords 3, Dark Lords Rising, Hollow Knight, The Darkest Dungeon, Halo, Undertale, Senua's Sacrifice, Battlefield 2, Fair 1, Super Mario World, and yeah, if you gave me more time, we could probably fill like an hour just with this, but we're not gonna do that. We'll continue on. Why are you maidenless? Bitch, I'm married! Do invaders get turned on by bleed gangs? I don't know what the hell you're into, man, but I'm not a hemophiliac. What should I do with my life? Well then, I didn't know that I had the power of changing somebody's life here. Isn't that fun? Whatever you do, mate, make sure that you enjoy it. And don't listen to the people that say you need something safe, because who the hell knows what's safe anymore? When COVID hit, a bunch of people that chose very safe jobs, aka my friends, got fired. They didn't know what to do. I was doing YouTube part-time at that point, so I managed to come through very comfortably, even though I had had a bunch of people tell me that YouTube, that's not safe. Fuck 'em. Go for something that you really want to do, and if it's hard, even better, because then it will just make it more worthwhile. How many people have you shanked in the throat? About 85%. What's my favorite build of any Souls game? Of any Souls game, it's the mace build I made in Dark Souls 3. There's something about the mace that is just so much fun. I feel like a goddamn tank, a steamroller just pushing my way through a crowd. It's amazing. What's your opinion on pineapples on pizza? I think that if you like pineapples on pizza, you're a heretic, and I will burn you in the holy fires of the Emperor. Will you bless us with some SCP readings, especially the Ethics Committee one? You know what, I feel like you've been asking me that question for a while. I probably should do it at some point. I'll make it a Discord exclusive. Are you still planning on a collaboration with Chase the Bro? I mean, I talk a lot with Chase, we're good friends, and he's a bit of a slowpoke, let me just tell you that. Eventually we'll get to it, but, you know, I can't tell you when. Have you ever considered voice acting as a possible career? Yeah, I have actually, multiple times, but I never really found the time to truly pursue it. I'm doing YouTube full-time now, and while I am loving it and it's great, it still takes up so much time. So, I'm also a little afraid that my accent might get in the way of certain roles that I really want. But if somebody offered me an opportunity to do some voice acting, I'd jump on it immediately. I really, really would. What was the moment that got you hooked on invading? I don't quite know. I think that the closest thing to a moment would be when I played Dark Souls 2 and I was in the Rat Covenant, and I lured people from their world to mine. Technically, I forced them to invade me, so it's not an invasion, but that's the closest thing you can get. I kept sending them messages, because this was back on the PlayStation 3, so they invaded me, and I sent them messages where I said, I can smell you. And I got some really funny responses, which I never saved, of course, because, you know, I didn't know I was making content at that time. Yeah. Do you identify yourself as a villain or a hero? Well, I'm a villain. I invade people. I kill them for my own amusement, and yours, I suppose. I'm not one of those anti-heroes. I'm straight up the bad guy. And don't let anybody tell you different. How are you feeling today? Well, I feel good. I'm a little hungry because I haven't eaten in a while. I'm also looking at my Audacity program, and I can see that I've been recording for 30 minutes. So this is gonna be a long video. I'm a little tired, I guess, but generally I'm happy. I'm a happy man. How did you meet your actual wife? My actual wife, I suppose we were high school sweethearts. I met her in high school. She's 1 year younger than me. I kind of got together with her at the very end of high school, and I was like, you know what? We'll have one summer of fun. That's going to be it. I'm gonna go away to university or something, and we're not gonna talk again. Fair, right? But no, that's not what happened. I really fell for the fucking girl, and when I was away at uni, I called her every single day. Except for one, which she won't stop bothering me about! He never lets that go. You missed one day, it could have been so perfect, you asshole! Anyway, through your history as a FromSoft player, is there a type of weapon class you'd like to see added that hasn't already been part of the main games? And if so, what impact do you believe they'd have on the gameplay as a whole, for example in Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring? This might be a little bit controversial, right? But I would like to see them add flails. Now, I know they have flails, but flails don't really operate like flails, right? Flails in Elden Ring is basically just a hammer reskinned, and I don't like it. I want it to be its own unique weapon. Add like a great flail, add like something that has physics, add like something that makes it unique. Come on, FromSoft. The impact it would have? No idea. Maybe it would be able to kind of hit people around shields, I suppose, like a real flail. That would be cool. What got you first started on Darkborn Ring Shadows Die Twice games? This one's easy. And it is as boring as it is generic. I watched the trailer for Demon Souls. Almost said Elden Ring. I watched the trailer for Elden Ring. God damn it! Fuck it, I'll leave it in. I'm almost done. I watched the trailer for Demon Souls. It looked so cool, and the way you could summon your friends, and the monsters were so awesome, and the knights were so knighty. You know, I really like gritty fantasy, and so it really spoke to me. Are you cringe, or do you enjoy Dark Souls 2? That's somewhat of a loaded question, isn't it? But let me just be quite frank here. I think Dark Souls 2 is a very good game. I think it was a very good game even before it came out with Scholar of the First Sin edition. It's not as good as the others. In fact, it's probably the worst of the Souls games. But being the worst in a lineup of masterpieces, I don't think that's a bad thing. That's all of the questions that were written down. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate everybody watching my stuff. And if you watched it all the way to the end here, alright? If you watched it all the way to the end, comment potato in the chat. Don't tell anybody why, just do it. The cool kids will know. I love all of you, and kisses.